G'day, it's Heath here from PickinLessons.com. In this guitar lesson, we're going to take a look at a great Celtic tune called the Foxhunter. Now, the Foxhunter is a slip jig, and that's a 9/8 time signature, and we'll have a chat about that a little bit later in this lesson. There are 4 parts to this tune, and each of those parts is only 4 bars long with a repeat. So we're going to take a look at the first 2 sections of the tune right now, part A and B, just once through each, nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and... One and 2 and 3 and Alright, there's part A and B of the tune, nice and slow. We're going to have a talk about a few exercises you can work on while you're learning this tune in just a moment. But if you head on over to PickinLessons.com, you're going to find the tab for this arrangement, and you'll find the next lesson where we'll take a look at parts C and D. There are also some play-along tracks there at 3 different tempos, so while you're learning the tune you can practice along at 3 different speeds. PickinLessons.com. Okay, so the Foxhunter is a slip jig, and a slip jig is in 9/8 time. So 9/8 time we have 3 pulses per measure, and each of those pulses is a dotted quarter note. So inside each pulse we have the equivalent of 3 eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So we have that main pulse there subdivided into 3 eighth notes. What that does for our right hand is at times complicates what we need to do, because what we're trying to do here is play a downstroke in each of the pulses. So the fact that there are 3 eighth notes in each pulse, we have an uneven amount of picking, 1, 2, 3. So what we tend to do is play down, up, down, and then repeat down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. All depends on the structure of the rhythm, and we're going to have a look at the rhythm variations your right hand needs to cover throughout the tune. So our first exercise we're going to take a look at is from bar 3 in part A. Sounds like this. So each beat in this bar presents a different right hand picking pattern. So let's break it down. Let's look at the first beat. So the first beat we have a quarter note into an eighth note. When we come across that rhythm, that's a pretty easy one. We're just going to play down then up. So we're going to play 1, 2, 3, down, up. We just need to make sure we hold the first note longer for the quarter note before we play the eighth note. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So anytime you come across that combination, the quarter note to the eighth note, right hand just down and up. Make sure we wait out the quarter note. Down, up, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's your first variation. That happens a bit in the tune, so keep an eye out for that one. Now the second beat in this bar, we have 3 quavers, but the third quaver is played with a pull-off. So we need to pick the first 2 quavers with a quicker down, up, and then we're going to flick our finger off the string to play that pull-off at the end for the open string. So the second beat sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And my right hand is picking down, up, then I'm flicking. Down, up, and then my right hand is ready for the next downbeat straight away. Down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when we're picking the first 2 notes out of the 3 quavers, we're going to pick those as down, up, and the pull-off allows us to play the third eighth note in the grouping. So one more time. Down, up, pull off. 1, 2, 3. Down, up, flick. 1, 2, 3. So there's beat 2. Let's put beat 1 and beat 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Down, up, flick. Alright, beats 1 and 2. So 2 rhythm variations right there. Now the third beat in this bar has another variation. We have another 3 eighth notes, this time a hammer on between the first 2, and then we'll pick the last eighth note in that grouping. So when we play this one, we're hammering on first, then picking the last note. So our right hand plays a down followed by an up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Down, up. Down with a hammer on, and then an up stroke. Down with a hammer on, up stroke. 1, 2, 3. Down, up. So a different way of playing that again because the pull-off is covering the first 2 eighth notes. So let's put all of that together. We have 3 variations for the right hand in that one measure. It's going to sound like this all together. Right hand, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so take it slow, get familiar with when you see a particular rhythm, how your right hand is going to approach it. So just very quickly, quarter note, eighth note, down followed by the up with that space in between. So when we get our 3 eighth notes, if there's a pull off between the second and third of those notes, we just pick the first 2 notes down then up. And then the third beat, we play the hammer on initially, so that allows us to play the up stroke at the end of the 3 eighth notes. So keep those variations in mind. We're going to take a look at a couple more variations right now as well. So we're going to jump over to part B to do that. Alright, so the first measure in part B, which is bar 5 in the tab. In this measure, what we find to begin with is again that quarter note into the eighth note. So that's pretty straightforward. We've already talked about that. The next 2 beats, there are no slurs, so we don't have any hammer-ons or pull-offs. And we need to pick the 3 eighth notes each time. And what that means is we're going to pick the 3 eighth notes as down, up, down, straight to the next down, up, down. So beats 2 and 3 sound like this. And the right hand, the way we are going to approach it is down, up, down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the 3 eighth notes, down, then down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down. So a little bit quicker sounds like this. What that allows is for getting the accents in your playing. Each time we get to a new group of 3 notes, we're playing a down pick stroke. That's helping us accent each of the beats. So let's put that bar together from the beginning. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and one more time. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and remember your right hand. You're going to go down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. So working again on playing those 3 eighth note groupings as a down, up, down, down, up, down. Without the slurs helping, it's going to be a little bit harder. Your right hand is much busier, and getting that down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down quicker is a challenge. So work on this as an exercise. All right, so the left hand is pretty straightforward, so we're not going to cover that, but the marking is in the tab for your fingers if you're not sure. And the marking for the picking is also there too, so you can keep an eye on it. So head to pickinlessons.com and you'll find this tab. And you'll also find part C and D of this lesson and some play along tracks. I'll see you there.